Good morning, Santa Cruz County. This is Karina Guerrero, Program Manager for Title I with Santa Cruz County Arizona at Work. I am here to present to you our program, which is Title I, that provides certifications, support, training to those in need or wanting to do a change in their lives. We work together with barriers and we try and achieve goals and accomplishments. Today we're going to go ahead and recognize one of our biggest achievements along with his case manager. This is Joshua Villalobos and Angel Aguilar, the case manager.
Morning, everyone. All right. So I would like to also take this time to recognize Joshua Villalobos because from the moment that he came in, I realized that this was an individual that had potential within him and was really striving to become the best version of himself. This was something that after speaking with him through our one-on-one case management session, I was able to identify many factors and barriers that he had throughout his life while trying to get to this position in life. So at this point, I would like to ask Joshua if he could express a little bit of these hardships that he had to overcome and talk to us about some of the things that he had to go through to get to where he's at today.
Quick question, like what kind of things you want to explain, like since all the factors throughout my life or just getting out and...
So you could essentially speak about the most impactful areas that made you essentially get that recognition of where you wanted to make that change in life.
All right, well, the point where I wanted to change my life, unfortunately, was when I was in prison. I was charged with 10 felonies. I was facing a max of 39 years. Or at least that's what the judge was telling me for 6 months, and that was a bitter pill to swallow. I kept on thinking, do I want to do this for the rest of my life? I kept on going to court. It's jail, and then in California, so there's a lot of politics involved, and there's just a lot of dumb things, and it was just things that I saw in prison and in jail that I said, you know what, I don't want to be part of this, you know?
Correct.
When I got to prison, I saw a lot of potential members because I also was a drug addict. I started doing drugs when I was like 8 years old. That's when I first tried weed and all that. So, like, throughout my whole entire life, I was a drug addict. So that was another big obstacle. But when I was in prison, like, I just saw a lot of things I didn't like. I saw a lot of potential mirrors, and I was like, you know what? Like, I gotta change. So if I'm in prison, either you're gonna mess up even more and get yourself more in trouble, or you're gonna do other things, try to improve yourself. So when I was in prison, I started going to school. When I started going to school, I was in Avenal State Prison in California, and I was right there. I kept on moving up. Then when I got to Old Folsom, it was kind of hard for me to get to school because that was just my first goal, right?
Correct.
So I was going to tutoring, even though I didn't start school. I started refreshing up on my math, everything. And, well, I kept on, there's something called 22 forms, right? An inmate request form.
Okay.
And that's how you communicate in prison. And they usually take a long time to respond. So I kept on bugging the director, like once a week I'll send her an inmate request for, hey, I really want to go to school. I really want to do this, you know, like I want to get my GED. Like I got 14 years, 8 months to go, and you know, like I want to be able to go to college and all that because they provide all those programs in prison. So I just kept on bugging them. I bugged the hell out of them. So eventually I started going to school. When I started going to school, like I got my GED, and it was kind of hard at first because I would get very, very nervous with the test. So when I would get nervous with the test, like I would just rush through it, and I kept on failing. And then I found out that, anyways, so it's like I feel like I'm getting off track. So I just started like taking like a lot of small steps. Like I kept on completing like programs. I got my GED, and then another thing that was physically demanding and it was physically hard for me was being a wildland firefighter during prison. So once I was in Old Folsom, I had to go to Jamestown, and when they transferred me to Jamestown, they asked me, do you want to go in camp or do you want to go wildland firefighter?
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll go wildland firefighter, but it took me like 4 tries to pass. And I was a PFT instructor, but I wasn't the guy leading the crowd. I was the guy that was leading like all the chubby people. So like I would just be like, I'll be right with her, like, you could do this. If I'm doing this, you could do it. And because it's not that I'm fat, but you know, like I'm not really a good runner. Like I was never naturally inclined to sports or anything. As a matter of fact, I don't like playing sports.
Okay.
So yeah, so there was like a lot of little things that, because throughout this whole entire process that I'm in prison and I'm getting my GED, I'm getting these programs, I'm doing the PFT, you know, like there was always that thought in the back of my head, you know, like you won't be able to do it, you know, like there's a lot of self-negative talk.
Correct.
And I also mentioned I read a lot of psychology books, so I read about all this. I'm like, you know what? This is all BS. I'm just gonna keep on doing it, and eventually, like I'm gonna get it, you know. And well, throughout the whole entire process, I kept on proving myself I could do it. Once I finished the PFT test, I had to get an S190. I can't remember the other ones, but there was like 3 of them. And every single one, throughout the whole entire course of the hand ran, I scored 99.5.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's really one of the highest ones in the class.
Yes. So, but then again, I was one of those. I was one of the highest ones in this class. But then when we had to do the hikes, like it was just different because from going to like a cell, I remember when I was in Old Folsom, and then we went to lockdown. So I went from 240 to 290. So that was another barrier right there.
Okay.
Because I couldn't work out inside the cell. Like literally, you're sitting in your rack, you could put your arm flat on the wall like that, and you could touch the other wall like that, and you're sitting on your bunk area.
Wow.
So your driveway, well, that's what they call a little space you got to walk. Your driveway is like probably like that big, or like that big. I couldn't
So
do
it's not really too much space where you can do much.
And then like your rack is right here. Oh, your rack is on this side. The driveway's right here. The bathroom is right there. And then you got like a little space over here, and then you got like lockers up here. And also like in height, it's really small. And you got to share that with somebody else. So I couldn't work out. So I got
this the space a lot more.
Yeah, so I got fat. So like it was really, really hard for me to keep up with the hikes because of all that. So when I first got to fire camp, I was like half an hour behind on the hikes. And after like a week, the captain, his name was Captain Brown, right there in CC5, Miramani. He was telling me, look, Mr. Villalobos, if you don't like start keeping up with the hikes, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to send you back, you know, like. And then Miramani was always up there, you know, like one of the best crews out there. So I'm like, all right, well, you know, like I'm gonna try. So I don't know, like I kept on proving myself that I could do the things because a month later we had to do the Bautista training. And it's like a training that they do every year to like type out the crews. So there's type 1 crews and type 2 crews. Type 2 crews stay, like say like if the crew's right here in Nogales, it's gonna stay right here in Nogales. So if it's a type 1 crew, they're gonna pair them up with another type 1 and they're gonna be a strike team and they're gonna send them out wherever they need them.
Okay.
So everybody wants to be a type 1 crew because then you get to go out, you get all the good food, not just the food in camp, you get to have steak and all that. You eat what the firefighters eat out there. So imagine from eating a bologna sandwich to a steak, like it's a big difference.
And how long were you in that program for?
I was there for 8 months and then I went to MCRP. But when I was in MCRP, it was like another thing, like it was kind of a bit boring because the director, I forgot her name, but she'll get mad because it'll be dirty and stuff. So not only did I have to deal like with all like the educational side and all that, I had to deal with people. And when I was growing up, I used to be a punk rocker. So punk rockers, what are they known for? Like they like to rebel, they hate authority and all that.
Yes.
So I had to deal with all that in all this process as well. So I had to change. I had to make a drastic change in my life, the way I talk, the way I address people. I've always been respectful, you know, like I had that rebellion in me.
So you decided to make all these changes to make you
a better person,
a better quality of life.
Yeah.
And after you got out of prison, what made you walk to our doors?
Well,
what made you come to Arizona at work?
Okay, so what made me come to Arizona at work? So I already moved from California, LA, or Los Angeles, California to over here. I came with my wife that lives in Nogales, Sonora. So one day I was passing by and I was looking for work. I was just passing. I had a blue Volkswagen. It was a GTI. I forgot where I was going. I don't know if I was going to Walmart or where, but I was looking for work. And then I saw Arizona at work. I'm like, you know what? I could get a job right there. So I went and I came in. I asked. I believe it wasn't Lupita. It was another. She was skinny. I forgot her name. She doesn't work
Vivi.
there. Was it Vivi?
I'm pretty sure
Most
it was
likely
Vivi.
it was Vivi,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I came in, and then I told her I was looking for work. Oh, we can help you out with a certification. At first, I was like, I'm trying to get work because I needed money.
Right.
So I went to Grad Sex Hopper, and I worked with them for a little bit. I went back to California, and then I came back. And this time when I came back, I walked in. I kept on struggling to look for a job right here because I'm trying to get settled right here.
Right.
So Lupita was on the desk, and I was trying to go through the fire academy program you guys have. So Lupita was like, well, that ain't until another 6 months, but if you want, you can get a CDL. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try. Because I used to hitchhike and train up since I was like 13 till 24, so it would be probably good. So yeah, like I tried it, I got it, I studied a lot. Like I started studying like 2 weeks before for the permit. My first try, I aced it. Then I studied really, really hard for the pre-trip and all that. So, yeah. But what made me come here is basically curiosity, because I'm constantly striving to be a better person, and I'm looking for opportunities. Like the other day, I went to Walmart and I saw this guy that had a shirt that like he was delivering stuff. He was stacking his product in Walmart. And I'm like, oh, you guys looking for workers, for drivers? Like I have no experience, and I don't know. Like I'm just constantly like just striving to like be better. So yeah.
And essentially, where do you see yourself after you've already completed the CDL license? How was the process in itself? How did you find going through the experience of being in the CDL classes, the connection that you were able to make through our department, the school itself, and how many people have you gotten to know because of that?
Well, the process was really, really good. Working with you, Angel, was really, really helpful, and like, it was a good experience. At the HTS school, like the instructors right there, they're very, very helpful. There is Hector. He's a funny guy. Like, for example, we'll be right there. Like, remember when you're doing the test, ask him questions. Remember, whoever punches first punches twice. So he'll make little comments like that. It would just be funny, but he'll help us out a lot. You know, like he was very, very helpful. There was Tony. He was very helpful as well. Like sometimes Hector was busy doing something else. I'm like, hey, because at my last week I was like, hey Tony, can you help me do the pre-trip? And I'm like, all right, yeah. Just tell me if I'm doing it right, and then I'll go through it. Like, oh yeah, you're gonna pass. Like you're gonna pass. So like he'll help me out a lot. I forgot the other name. It started with the D. I can't remember if it was David or Dave. I think it was Dave. He was helpful. Like all the instructors right there were very helpful. I was staying up there and I just had to do like some work.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, like it was a cool experience. Just on test day, I was kind of nervous because the tester, like, have you seen the movie Red? Red 2?
Yes.
Remember the bad guy? The instructor looked like him. He had glasses and then he had a serious face. So I kept on messing up, and then like I tried to like shift the gear in place. So I was kind of manhandling the shifter, but yeah, like because I was really nervous. So
Correct.
like I kept on. Then I had to do an emergency stop, which is like, as if the light just turned yellow on me. If you pass a yellow light, then they'll give you a lot of points.
Okay.
So I just have to brake, and dude like was sitting like all comfortable. Then he had to like put his hand on the dashboard, and then he just breathes. And I was like, oh damn.
But we know you got through it and you even went ahead and you worked extra hard and you actually finished the program ahead of time.
Yeah, well.
So that provides a lot of security on your part because it shows that you want that drive, right?
Yeah, well, is that I know I could do it, but once I'm already doing it, like I get like, since this is like something new to me because I've done a lot of stuff in my life. I've never done anything productive in my life. So it's just kind of hard. Like when that day hits, I get really, really nervous. But then once I get it, like it's another I'm just proving myself I can.
Right.
Well, Joshua, we wanted to recognize you with the certificate for all the hard work that you've gone through so far. We know that better things are to come now that you've accomplished this one milestone in your life. There's plenty of more to come by, and we know that you're a driven person. Something that I've noticed from like I mentioned, from the first day that I saw you, I knew that you had some doubts about yourself, but sometimes having those doubts help us when there's somebody that's there to help you guide you through those doubts. Because I saw the potential in you, even though you might have doubted yourself a little bit in those moments, but I knew that there was that spark within you, that all that needed was a little bit of ignition to get things going. So I'm glad to see that you've made it as far as you've made it so far. Passed not only your permit on the first try, but you got your CDL on the first try as well. So that's a big accomplishment on its own.
It is. It's a lot of things to remember. There's like 90 things you have to remember. You could only get 27 wrong.
Exactly.
And then there's wording. The wording is very important because if you don't word it right, it's just, they're not going to count it.
You see, so it's a lot of little details that not too many people take into consideration that bring the bigger picture to light. Do we have anything else, Karina?
No, we want to thank you for all your hard work and showing that you people, even with barriers, we can achieve goals and get over, our nervous state.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be able to do it without your guys' help in Santa Cruz County for the funding to get my CDL. So I want to thank all you guys for that.
Of course.
Thank you very
It was
much.
a pleasure helping you out in this process, and we'll still be in communication now.
All right.
Yep.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joshua. Okay. And just as our successful story with Joshua, ustedes pueden ser nuestro próximo participante que también puede llegar a tener este tipo de suceso en su vida. Todo sería cuestión de comunicarse con nosotros. Somos Arizona at Work y estamos para su servicio. También lo que queremos hacer es invitarlos a nuestro próximo Job Fair, que es el 15 de octubre en Nogales High School Gymnasium. Ahí los esperamos, y si ocupan más información o detalles del programa, son más que bienvenidos para venir a nuestra oficina o comunicarse con nosotros por otros tipos de medios.
Los esperamos. Gracias.